What is happening, YouTube? I'm back. My name's Joe. Been reselling 8 years, showing my sharing, not showing, sharing, well, sharing and showing my experiences on eBay and what sells. Been reselling full time for about 8 years now, and been doing eBay since my college days when I used to sell my college books instead of sending them to the bookstore, and which I did do at first and get money that way from my old books. I started selling them on eBay. Anyway, you can get a lot more out of them back then. Well, I'm sure that's probably the same case now. Well, actually, they probably don't even do books in college anymore. It's probably all digital. I don't know. It's who knows, but welcome. Appreciate y'all hanging out. I've got some sales to go over. I think I sold 8 things. I had 2 purchases and 2 return. I'm a little sweaty still. I did some walking this morning. Get a little exercise in. Trying to do better little by little. But anyway, we got, I think, 8 sales. We had 2 cancels this morning. 2 purchases and 2 cancels. It's like, come on, man. I hate that. One was $40 and one was 130, I think it was. So I just, excuse me, I just relisted them. That's all you can do. There's, a lot of people get upset about that, kind of like really upset about that, and like block people. That's whatever. Just relist it, keep it moving. Same thing when like people ask you to cancel an item. It sucks, yes. And I've had to do the same thing. You reach out, but I've had some ugly sellers get nasty and want to block me. So I accidentally made a purchase. Okay, I do eBay too. It happens. But anyway, some people are just get real butthurt about stuff like that. It is a little annoying, but it's part of business, man. It's the way it works. It ain't gonna be the first or the last time that somebody checks out and then wants to cancel. So I don't have a ton to cover today. I don't have a lot of topics or anything to go over. Again, as you know, I kind of shoot off the hip here as things come up. I just kind of share and drop nuggets as I go. Hopefully helps y'all out and share what I've got going on. So that's basically it. We're gonna get to these sales, see what we got. I think I had, if I remember correctly, my deposit for the week, we crushed our goal. So if you've been with me a while, you know that my minimum a day is 100. My goal a day is 200. Anything over that's great. And that's just what we need to sustain our lifestyle and my family between this income and a couple other sources that we have for income. It works. So this is what we need out of eBay, and yeah, it works. So I don't look at the daily so much. I look at my weekly deposit. So my week ended yesterday. I had my deposit today. Well, technically the week I guess ends Sunday because not all those sales drop. But what dropped today in my bank account, which was a week's worth of sales, was like 2,400 and change, 24 or something, I think it was. Which is amazing because, again, if you go back to 200 a day, 7 days, 1,400. That's kind of where I'm at a week. So as long as every Tuesday I see 1,400, I'm a happy camper. Now, obviously, you step up, you hustle more, you get more stuff, you list more, that number will go up, for me. If I don't list as much, don't do as much, don't hustle as much, that number tends to come down for me. Naturally, you're going to have some better weeks than others. It's just the way it is. But the hustle, definitely makes a difference. So, but yeah, so deposited. Let me actually see if I can go to my payouts and see, because I don't think I've shared my actual weekly payouts. I know I tell you guys where I'm at daily and things like that, but I don't think I normally. Let's see, where do I see my payouts on here? I don't really know where to go. I normally do it on my computer or on my phone. So I don't normally look at payment payouts. Here we go. So the payout I had for April 16th today, $2,472.17. So you can actually, it actually shows you my history. So like last week we had $1364.05. Week before that was $1755.31. Week before that was $534. That week that I had a terrible sales week, $534. That's crazy that's all I did that week. 1,058 the week before that, 1,347 the week before that, 1,566 the week before that, 1,562 the week before that, 1,689 the week before that. That takes us into like February. So anyway, one of our, as you see, 1,400 is my goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 out of 9 weeks, I hit goal, and or above, or right there, 1364, I'll take it. It's pretty much goal. 1347, I'll take it. It's pretty much goal. But anyway, so 7 out of 9 weeks, I hit goal. So that's where I want to be. Obviously, if I can scroll down and see all my history and go all the way back down, 1694, 1654, and so on, all the way back into January. But again, that's what works for me. And as you can, well, I'm not actually showing you the screen, but reading off the screen, this reselling is a real thing. People do, now what's my end cost on all that? I guarantee no more than probably 10%, 20% ish, as far as like what I've like if I make $1,600, I probably didn't put out more than about $400 to make that, typically, give or take. So obviously, that's not including your end costs, your purchase costs and things like that, or your purchasing supplies and, gas and, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, obviously there's business expenses that are, also come out of those funds and things like that. So, and then obviously I pay myself weekly as well. But what I'm getting at, saying all that to say, and I have to have cash flow, right? Money in the bank to buy more stuff. So, and the wheel just keeps on turning. So that's just to show you guys, like, it's a real thing. This I hear sometimes like reselling is not a real business, blah blah blah. It's what you make it. Anything where you're making money is a real business. It's how you handle it and how far you want to take it. So and how organized and structured and things like that. So the fact that I've got the LLC set up, that everything goes through that. I've also got an S corp set up. So I mean, there's a lot of little things that you want to just be smart about. I'm still naive in several things, in a lot of things too. There's a lot of things that I still learn every day. So I'm rambling at this point, but sorry, I'm off on tangent. But anyway, so I'm just saying all that to say, you can make a living doing this. You can certainly do this as a side hustle, make extra cash doing this without a ton of extra time. Like if you were looking to do like just $400 or $600 extra a month, like you could probably, I mean, that's 10 hours or maybe 5 hours a week, give or take, to do like an extra $400 to $600 a month, maybe 5 hours a week, give or take. It's not a lot. So what I'm saying that to say, it's different scales, different strokes for different folks, as far as like where you want to be, how much you want to make, how much effort you want to put in, all that kind of stuff, so it's may not be for everybody, and that's fine, but you certainly, folks that are out there that are struggling a little bit, that you're looking to try to find, an extra source of income. If you just need to make like an extra $400 and cover that car payment every month because you're just a little short with your regular money, or things are just, you keep falling, a few $100s short every month, this is a great way to make up a few $100, $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a month extra without a ton of extra time. There is, you do have to, like anything else, you got to put a little effort, you got to put a little time, but it's not an extraordinary amount of time you got to put in this, so that's the nice thing about it is, for all you folks that are watching, they're just kind of, whether you're a reseller or not a reseller, whatever the case is, but if you're not into reselling, you've always thought about it, you're struggling a little bit with your everyday expenses, think about it. My recommendation, my sister-in-law actually was wanting to get into reselling, and I told her, now this is about almost 2 years ago now. She's not now. She found a job. And she doesn't need to, and or doesn't, I guess doesn't need to. But and I said, even when I wish I would have done reselling when I was working a regular job, because just all the extra money I could have made. But you get a job, you make money, it's good for your lifestyle and things, and you just kind of don't, you just don't need to, right? So you don't. But anyway, I told her to start with, a good starting point, a good starting spot is look through your house. If you're not into don't know how to resell, don't know what, don't really, the first thing you got to do is, look around your house and pick up stuff in your home that you don't use anymore, you don't mess with anymore. Create yourself a little pile or put it in a bin, and then just start looking those things up on eBay under sold listings. Don't look it up just or Google search it or whatever. Go on eBay and filter. There's a filter option for sold and completed. Click those, find your item, then sold and completed, and see what they're selling for. And then, oh my goodness, that watch sells for like $40. Okay, well then put that watch up for $40 and see what happens, or $30, and see if it sells. And rinse and repeat. Whatever item you have, do the same thing. Now, obviously, if it's $5 or $10, do you want to put that on eBay? That's your call. obviously you're going to have shipping expenses and things like that. So, you know, if it's free shipping, probably not. If it's plus shipping, you make that choice. But, you know, where you want to be as far as, you know, the dollar amount of items, I'm to a point where 10 plus shipping is kind of my minimum, you know, even at this stage. I don't like putting 10 plus shipping, but if it's easy, quick, and fast, and it'll sell, 10 plus shipping all day, I'll put them up. I'll put stuff like that up. It takes me a minute to post it or less. So, and that's the other thing. The posting process and listing is cumbersome at first until you know, you know, it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over, right? Every time you list something, it's pretty much the same thing. So you'll eventually get quicker at it. You will get faster at it. But it does kind of stink at first when, you know, you're starting it off, to update that stuff. Now, I will say all the categories and subcategories and all that, I don't mess with much of that except what's required. Some people will just hit options for every little thing. Don't do that. I mean, you can, but I don't think you need to. I don't, and I sell just fine. So all I'm saying is the title needs to be legit and good and clear and concise, to the point, what it is. Not a lot of extra, not a lot of no slang, no emojis, just what it is, because people are searching, and that's what's going to pop up is what they're searching. So think like a customer. You're searching for whatever, list it very similar to how it would be searched. Okay, that's probably a nugget that I need to throw out there if you're not, you know, if you're new to this. From there, it's basically just, you know, your description. If there's anything wrong with your item, I don't have anything laying around, but you know, if there's anything wrong with your item, you know, look it over really well. If it's closed, look it over really well. If there's a little hole or a little spot, make sure you take a picture and you show that little hole or spot, and you make sure that you list that there's a hole or a spot as pictured. You know, I just put as pictured, you know, so I'll put down, you know, in my description, I usually will just copy my title and put that in my description, and then I will follow that with item has a small blemish on front as pictured. Done. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to word play crazy words and make it sound crazy jazzy or professional. Straight to the point and what it is. You know, there's a dark spot on the rear as pictured. Done. Because you have a picture of it with your finger pointing at it. Done. Make it simple. Make it simple. I don't do measurements on clothes unless they don't have a tag. You know, you do get people ask about clothes, but that's just clothes. I mean, if it goes for anything, you know what I mean? Like video game. Okay. Video game. Pretty much, I don't disclose because the labels and stuff that's on them, because that's normal for games. But like, let's say it didn't have a manual, I would disclose in the description, no manual. If the disc had some sort of defect, sometimes they're cracked on the middle part of the disc, but they still play, has a slight crack on the middle part of the disc, done as pictured. You know, obviously take a picture of it, and that's it. I mean, full disclosure. That's the biggest thing. I think people, when I hear people complain about eBay or selling online, the biggest thing is like returns and da-da-da. Well, you're probably not listing things accurately. You're not showing all of those little nuances. You're not taking good pictures, and B, you're not describing well. So let's just keep it simple, okay? You're either it's one of those two things typically. You know, if you're getting returns, it's because you're not pointing out those facts. You know, the disc is super scratched but still plays, or the disc looks good and has been tested. Like in this case, it looks good. Those just done. That's it. Super easy. Keep it moving. But it's anything that would affect. Think to yourself, if I was to buy this, why would I return it? So I'm looking, you know, is it cracked? Is it broken? Is anything sticking out on this item that needs to be disclosed so I can minimize a return on it? Now, obviously, if there's an issue stain on a shirt, I'm gonna take less for it. You know, it sells for 50. It's got a big old stain on it. I'll probably sell it for 35. You know what I mean? Because it's got a stain. Keep it moving. A lot of times, those things still sell. So don't think because it's got a stain, a rip, a tear, a hole, no zipper, a crack on the disc, missing parts, that doesn't mean those things won't sell. It just means sometimes you gotta take a little bit less. That's another thing people are misconception is that, you know, just, you know, if it's broken or whatever, things sell on eBay all the time for broken parts and repair and all that kind of stuff. So, or parting out things for you know, for parts and stuff like that. It's kind of like that VR headset that I had. I didn't sell the whole thing as a whole. I sold it and pieced it out. Pieced out the handheld, the hand things, the goggles. We're 14 minutes in. I even got the sales. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm saying all that to say description, title. It's not too hard to get into this. Those are the basics. Those are the basics. Take good pictures. Yeah, that's basically it, you know, and then you're kind of off and running. I mean, you don't even, eBay is beautiful. You don't have to, I don't think they have to pay if, I have a store and I could pay for the store, set up on eBay, but I think that you get like 200 free listings now, just as a regular, you know, you just sign up and boom, you know, 200 free listings. You link up your bank account to it and start listing basically. So like I said, if you're new to this, start with home stuff, things that are inside your house. You'll be blown away sometimes by some of the things you look up. You'll be like, whoa, you know, to you, it has no value anymore. It's been laying around the house forever and you don't care about it. And it's whatever, right? Your money's already been spent on it. It doesn't matter to you anymore. It'd be nice to get, you know, that particular item. You still $50 out of it. Wouldn't that be awesome to get $50 out of some item? You just been sitting around the house, got nothing, no value to you anymore, but you got, hey, $50. All right. Rinse and repeat. You might have 30 items in your house that are 20 to $50. So all I'm saying is start there if you're new to this, and then from there you can kind of get a feel of how it works. You get a feel of how to list and post. You get a feel of how to do the pack and ship. You get that wheel turning a little bit on the items that you own yourself. You know all the little details. If there's issues with them, it's a crack, there's a break, there's a blemish, there's a whatever, you can disclose all that stuff because it's your item and it should be easy to disclose whatever wrong with your item, right? And then from there, you know, you kind of start, then you can start sourcing. You know, once you've kind of gotten that, your feet wet a little bit there, then start going out and sourcing and looking for things, you know, whether it's similar items that you know about, things that you like in her case, she liked furniture and things like that. So it was a little hard for me to kind of translate that into what I do, because I was like, well, furniture, you wouldn't really sell it much on eBay, but you would use Marketplace as your platform to do furniture. So you buy your furniture, maybe even through Marketplace or through storage folks that buy storage units. Maybe go to storage auctions and you see some furniture in a unit that somebody just bought. You sync up with them and network and be like, hey, I seen that you had a dresser in there. It looked kind of messed up, beat up. You know, would you mind, you know, something that you're looking to get rid of? And you know, I see it all when I'm at the auctions. That stuff happens. People come and start networking with the guys that are getting all that stuff in bulk, because it's easy. It's a win-win. They can get rid of something quick and easy, and then she can restore it and make a few dollars off of it, you know. So, but ultimately what I'm getting at is then you start sourcing. So obviously furniture was a little rough, but you know, whatever she likes photography and things like that also. So I was like, okay, well, cameras, you can get into cameras and start really knowing cameras and lenses and the different, you know, Sony and Canon and Nikon, and know the differences in prices on, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of nuances with camera, the old camera, the film camera versus the digital cameras and all. I mean, so then you start, you know, at that point, just kind of start selling and purchasing and looking and sourcing for the things that you like and enjoy. And then you start educating yourself on things you don't know. I mean, that's how you get into it. Like, I just got schooled in a bunch of Pokemon stuff. It cost me $400. I might make $250 back if I'm lucky. Schooled myself, $150 schooling on some Pokemon. Now I can spot a fake if, you know, over the last 24 hours, I think I could spot a fake now if I ever go through Pokemon stuff again, because I've schooled myself, because what I picked up wasn't all legit, and so now I've been trying to figure out how do you tell fakes from reals and things like that. So I kind of bought myself into a little education. Sometimes that happens. You don't want to lose too big and buy yourself into an education, obviously, or do that all the time. You need to win more than you lose, that's for sure, or else this won't work for you. But yeah, so anyway, again, we're 20 minutes in. I've just been rambling, guys. I'm sorry. Let's get to these sales quick. Hopefully you enjoyed a little something of that and picked up a little something, especially if you're newer with us or new to the resale game. All right, so let's go to sales. Let's share what's sold, and I will try not to ramble so much. How about that? Because I want to keep this at least at under 30 minutes. So between yesterday and today, we had 8 items sell between yesterday and today. Total of $332.38. Obviously, that's with shipping. So did I meet goal? Yes, I did. So 200 is my minimum, or I'm sorry, 100 my minimum, 200 my goal. We hit 332.38. Golden gravy, love it. That's also yesterday. We had a pretty good sales day yesterday too, or through the weekend we had a really good sales weekend. It was like $1,000 something, right about almost 1,100 or something like that. It was. So for 3 days, what is that? Almost $400 a day, $350 or so a day. So been doing pretty good lately. things are steady. Again, promoted listings in conjunction with a discount, or a promoted listings in conjunction with the discount on my older items has been helping a bit. So I do have a couple older items that have sold and have been selling, which is nice. That's the whole point of it, to try to get some of these older items out of here. So let's go ahead and start off. We got Grand Theft Auto, disc only. So Grand Theft Auto. Okay. Make sure this disc is a little scratched up. Now, if I do test them, but I will say in my experience, like I'm testing my stuff on a backward compatible PS3. Which it loaded it up. Now, I mean, if it's not a backward compatible, could it not? And I've had it happen where other systems just don't load it, whether the lens is just not as strong, whatever the case is. But anyway, anytime, I guess I'm not trying to promote this, but anytime somebody tells me a game, especially if it's a disc only game, they tell me it didn't work for whatever reason. I mean, it was like $7, so it's just easier just give them their money back and keep it moving. Send them an apology, like, I'm not sure why it's not working and we tested it, but here's your money back kind of thing. So anyway, Grand Theft Auto sold for $8. Actually, this one sold for $8 plus shipping. So just I put a little bit of what you call it in there to keep the disc from flying around. So what else we got? We got, in fact, you know what? This is going to be a little bit longer video. We're going to go a little longer. How about that? I'm going to pack with you guys. Pack while I go. The next thing that sold was a Game Gear, which actually went, this is actually my first viewer sale. So David Medina. Shout out to you, Mr. David, if you're still watching or watching this one or watching this far in. David Medina sent me an offer, said he was a viewer. He was in Chicago, I think it was. And I just picked up this Game Gear this weekend. I think it was $10. I think, if I remember correctly, I believe it was 10. Great shape. I was hoping it would work. Still has the. In fact, I had it in the video, the Saturday video. I think it was in the Saturday video. But great condition. Still has the battery covers on it. Still has the fabric handle thing that's on it, and it's in pretty nice cosmetic condition, but it doesn't work, doesn't fire up. He said he's going to try to fix it, which is great. So David, appreciate you. First viewer sale. Appreciate you being part of the channel, being part of the journey. Hopefully you've learned a little something along the way, or I'm glad I could at least sync you up or connect you with an item that you want to try to tinker with, man. And hopefully we can find you a little something again at some other point, or any of you other folks that are watching. Viewer sale. I kind of felt like I was like, man, I feel like the Commonwealth picker. I was like, I got a viewer sale. Oh my goodness. So I thought that was pretty. That tickled me. So I appreciate you, David. That was pretty cool. So let's see. Oh, let me show it off. So this whole I had an offer for 30. I told him this in the message, but pretty good condition. Still has the back covers and everything like that. I'm rambling about it, didn't show it off. But I actually had an offer for 30 because I wanted to get like the full price for it, because I just literally just put it up, and I've sold them before for 35 for parts and repair. And he sent me an offer. I had just declined like a few hours before a $30 offer, and he sent me a thing saying 25. I'm a viewer. I'm going to try to repair it. And I was like, you know what? I'll tell you what. How about 28? Because I just had an offer for 30. How about 28? And, it's your viewer. Why not? And so he purchased, checked out. So again, I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get this one packed. And then the next one we got was the Raven Remaster for PlayStation 4. This sold for $15 plus shipping. And it's actually sealed. 15 plus shipping. It is sealed as well. So the Raven PS4, 15 plus shipping. All right, let's get that in an envelope. So I don't know if I need to do it or not, but I buy the, I don't know, tell me what you guys do or what you would do rather. So I buy the envelopes. I buy the padded envelopes in bulk. Just, you know, your standard white poly padded envelopes in bulk. And then I cut them like that in half. Instead of buying the, I guess I just price it and find out myself, but instead of buying the smaller ones, which is, I think is a 4 by, is it maybe 6 by 8 or something? I don't know what it would be. Well, what are these? 10 by 7 or so. So whatever's close to that, 8 by 6. So I don't do those. I'm wondering if I should, instead of cutting these all the time. Will this fit? Nope. Will it fit in here? It's too big. There's. Sorry guys, I'm just getting a box. Trying to find a box. Here we go. That should work. Okay. So probably won't pack that on camera because, well, you know what? It doesn't even matter at this point. I am going to Jersey Mike's after this, so who's somebody had suggested the Chipotle, the chicken, I think it's the Philly cheese Chipotle or something like that. Somebody had suggested that, so I did try that. It was very good, actually. It was very good. Oh, and also, by the way, thank y'all for letting me know what the deal is with Fallout. You know, sometimes I say stuff and I don't really even know if people are listening because I just do my thing, you know, and I'm rambling and I'm talking, and then it tickles me sometimes when you guys leave comments and actually reply to my questions. I thought that was pretty awesome. So, so you guys, I had like 2 or 3 folks reply and let me know that Fallout, they just come out with something for Fallout, and that's why obviously I got the pop on all the games for it. But that was weird, man. I'm telling you, it was weird. Weirdest thing ever. But I figured it had to be something to do with some sort of news or something going on with Fallout, because how did all 3 of them pop at the same time on the same day? And then I'm kind of like, man, I probably could have got full price for them if they weren't on promotion. Alright, so there's that. Let's keep these in order. Alright, so next thing that sold was PlayStation. PS PlayStation. I think. Those are all the 64s, PS4. PS4. Looking for a PlayStation. There we go. With the black controller. Oh, I don't know if this is it. Is this it? No, that's not it. Alright. PlayStation, where are you at? That's N64, SNES, Xbox, N64. Man, where's this PlayStation at? PS1. Duh, right next, right behind me. So This is a modded PlayStation 1. This is actually one of my buddies that I bought from him a while back on a big deal that I did with him, which I wish I would have, like, whenever I do deals with like that, I definitely want to share those going forward, especially now that I'm doing YouTube again, because I wasn't doing YouTube at the time. But one of my buddies sold me his childhood collection in exchange for football helmets, because I do the football helmet thing, the NFL football helmets. I do break style, autographed football memorabilia, baseball, hockey, basketball, but predominantly football, majority football. But anyway, he's a Bills fan. I ended up getting like a triplets, Thomas Reed, Kelly helmet in exchange for a huge chunk of his childhood collection, because the helmet's like a $1,200 helmet or something like that. It was an expensive helmet. So, and I told him, I was like, in exchange, I mean, I need about, you know, more value out of what I'm selling, because you get one item that's this high and I'm getting a bunch of little items. I got to make up the difference, plus fees and all that kind of stuff, taxes, shipping, all that. So he made me a really good deal. We came up with a really good deal. But anyway, one of the things that was in his bundle was a modded, and all the stuff. In fact, all the stuff that he had was really good. I'll just say that. I kept a nice little chunk of it. But it's a modded PlayStation 1 that he took when he was, I guess when he was overseas or something like that. But it got it modded, which means it can basically play any burnt game. Is all it. I guess all it really means is it can play any burnt game. So it works fine. I'm not going to pack that up on camera because that's going to take me a minute. But I know you guys want to. I'm going to get you guys out of here. We're creeping up on 30 minutes. Next thing it sold was, let's see, Nintendo 64 controller. So Nintendo 64 controller. So I typically, what I do with these is I open them up, make sure they're good, make sure the stick is, this one's maybe a smidge loose, but it feels good. So I'm gonna leave it unless they complain about it, then I'll go from there. But I believe it's good to go. Pretty good joystick still, but if they are like really loose and like don't feel good, I open them up and replace them. So this one didn't seem to be, I got like 9 of them. So, but they do go through my inspection process. And if I feel that's not right, I'll open up and I got them to replace them. It's actually really easy to replace those as well. If you come across N64 controllers, the wires are actually really easy to replace. They just plug in and unplug on those boards, which is really nice. 9 times out of 10, it's soldered on the board. So if you ever have frayed wires and things like that on that controller, you're good. You just open it up and swap it out. Next thing it sold was a power brick for a Xbox. This sold for $22 plus shipping. $22 plus shipping. So the board, or the power brick for Xbox One, got both sides. So there's that. And the last thing that sold, actually no, 2 more things that sold. Pair of boots. Finally, pair of boots. I've had these things for a while. Since the last yard sale season, actually. So again, it goes back to, you know, the promoted. If it sold under promoted listing, it sold for promoted, which is nice. Sold for $27.50 plus shipping. So just a nice pair of, I forget what the name brand's on them. Gypsy Rose. So I don't know a ton about leather boots and cowboy boots, cowgirl boots. But this one caught my eye a little bit with all the little design on it. I want to say I paid probably $3 if I remember correctly. Gypsy Rose on the bottom there. So I think I paid $3 for them. So I figured they would fetch about 30, give or take. And sometimes when I get boots, they're up there, you know, just depending on the brand and things like that. Again, I'm not savvy when it comes to boots, but I do know to look out for them. When I see them for the right price, I typically pick them up. So, and then the last thing that sold, and then I'll let you guys go for the day, is a Harley. I have to find it. It's a Harley hoodie. but I gotta find it. Have I ever said I hate clothes? I hate clothes. Have I ever told y'all I hate clothes? Oh my goodness, I hate clothes. Oh, does that have some cracking in it? Oh man. Yeah, it sure does. I just noticed one of the leather jackets I have has some cracking in the leather. So I may have to go take another picture of that and just put it in the listing. But anyway, it's Harley Davidson. It's not a hoodie, but just a Harley Davidson zip-up sweater. I don't think there's anything special about this one. Nope, just a regular Harley Davidson zip-up sweater. This sold for $20 plus shipping. Why was it like $7 to $15 in shipping? I don't really know, but either way. So there you go, Harley Davidson. I usually pick up Harley stuff if I see it, especially if the price is right. Harley's on my list of things to pick up. But again, it goes back to price, just like anything else. I mean, video games are on my list to pick up, but if it ain't the right price, I ain't touching it, right? So, yeah. So Harley stuff. Definitely keep an eye out for Harley stuff. Shirts. In fact, I think I've got an offer on a shirt right now pending. Somebody sent me an offer on a shirt, and I sent them a counter on a Harley shirt. So that may come back today too. But that's it. Those are the sales. I'm going to get this stuff packed up, get it out for my mail lady, and then I'm going to head to Jersey Mike's to grab me a sub. And then I've got a little bit more work to do for my other business. I'll be live tonight as well on Facebook. So if anybody's watching here, enjoy sports memorabilia, join my Facebook group. It's called BTG East Coast. I think it's linked. It may not be linked. I don't know. But Facebook BTG East Coast. Excuse me. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Busy day. I'm going to try to get some stuff listed as well. I still have a bunch of those clothes that are in my phone that I need to get out of my phone and up on eBay. So I would like to tackle that, so that way the rest of this week I can tackle the rest of this stuff that I brought in the last 2 weekends, because I think I can get most of it up on eBay before Saturday hits. Friday I'm not sourcing. Friday I'm going fishing with a friend of mine, so nothing going on Friday. And so Saturday's gonna be it. So and it may rain. I jinxed myself. It may rain on Saturday. I said last week when I did my pickup, I said I was so far behind on everything. I was like, man, I hope it rains next weekend. So anyway, if it does, that will give me some time to catch up for sure. But that's all I got, guys. I've rambled a lot on this one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to tighten it up. I'm gonna tighten it up tomorrow. I'll tighten it up and get back to normal. But I'm your average Joe. This is how I do. Just giving y'all some raw, unedited from me, and hopefully you enjoyed a few things that I shared and picked up some stuff, and sharing some sales. If you see any of these things while you're out there, definitely consider picking them up, especially if the price is right. Harley stuff, always good pickups. So they don't sell for well, some of the stuff sells for really good money, but you usually can't go wrong with the sweaters, the shirts, the Harley jackets, the riding jackets, the all-weather stuff, the boots, all that kind of stuff, the helmets. So I've even sold the windshield. I've sold a Harley windshield before, and a Harley bag thing that goes on the back of the thing. Anyway, so again, if the price were a Harley seat, I've sold a Harley seat before as well. So it was a little pain to pack and ship, but it sold for like $190 or something like that. So I think I got it for like $20. Again, if the price is right, I'll consider it. Bulk doesn't bother me. Having to ship something big and bulky. I shipped 901 Bose speakers. If any of y'all know anything about Bose speakers, those 901s, I got the tulip stands still sitting over here. I need to get those sold. If you don't know, tulip stands for 901s go for like $300. So they're crazy. So if you can pick up a set with the stands for like $2, it's a steal, because you can sell the stands alone for like $300, and the speakers, even for parts and repair, sell for like $400 for just the speakers. So plus shipping. I've done it. In fact, there's a set at the local thing that I keep eyeballing. The lady wants like 600, and I'm like, it's not enough meat there, man. Especially because they're gonna have to be fixed. So I know what I can get out of them. But she's had them for like 2 years. I keep trying to chip away at her, but she ain't budging, man. I'm like, these things are just sitting, taking up all this space, man. They could be out of here for 400. Anyway, enjoy your day. I'm out of here. I'm under 40 minutes. Hey, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Bye, guys. Oh, make sure you subscribe. Still under 40 minutes. Bye, everybody.